Hello everyone, welcome to LRNR classes. So today we are going to discuss about the development of female gametophyte. Okay, so as we know, the androecium part is the female gametophyte or female part of a flower, and which is the fourth hole, and that androecium part is the fourth hole of flower. Okay, so in this androecium part, it is the androecium part and it has three regions. This upper part is called stigma, and the long slender tubular part is called style, and here is the solen, which is the bottom part, is called the ovule. So this is the large structure of a ovule, and in the ovule we can see that it is the stalk like structure, and this stalk is called funicle, and here the point of attachment at which the funicle is attached to the ovule is called the hilum. Okay, and this is the covering of ovule and it is called integument. Okay, if there is two integument in a ovule, then it is called bitegmic. If there is one integument in the ovule, then it is called ategmic. Okay, so here there is two integument in this ovule, and within the ovule the middle part is the nucellus, and the nucellus contains so much number of diploid tissues, nucellar cells, and the central large cell is called embryo sac. It is called the embryo sac, which is the female gametophyte. And the large structure present in the ovule is called embryo sac, and it is called female gametophyte. Okay, so let's know the embryo sac structure, detailed structure of this embryo sac. So here the embryo sac contains central two nuclei, and that nuclei are called polar nuclei. Okay, and later on, at the time of fertilization, these two polar nuclei are mixed together, fused together to form secondary nuclei. Okay, so here at the micropylar end, this end is the micropylar end, and it is the open end of the ovule. This micropylar end is the open end of the ovule, and this end is the chalazal end, which is also called as chalaza, and it is the close end of ovule. That's why it is the apex part of ovule and it is the base part of ovule. So it is the apex part and the upper part of ovule, because this micropylar end is the open end, and this is the chalazal end, and it is called base part or bottom part or lower part of the ovule. Okay, so here the large zoomed structure of embryo sac, and this embryo sac contains central two polar nuclei, and at the micropylar end there is synergid and the egg apparatus is present, and there is a thickening of the synerginous cell. Then it is called filiform apparatus, and this filiform apparatus helps to receive the pollen grain, the male gametophyte. Then here are the chalazal end. There is three antipodal cells. Okay, so let's know about the how female gametophytes is developed. So as you can see, this is the structure of a ovule, and this is the micropylar end, and this is the chalazal end, and the central cells are called nucellar cells. Okay, so one of these nucellar cells towards the micropylar end, it is get differentiated and divided into two cells. It is the outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cell, and this sporogenous cell is again differentiated each other and differentiated by and converts into sporogenous tissues, and this is inner sporogenous cell, this outer parietal cell gradually degenerates and this sporogenous cell becomes prominent, having dense cytoplasm and a large nucleus. Okay, so gradually by differentiating, the sporogenous cell turns into megaspore mother cell. Okay, so this megaspore mother cell divides into 4 megaspore, that is the megaspore tetrad. It is the megaspore tetrad, which are arranged linear vertical row, and this division occurs by meiosis division. Okay, so this megaspore mother cell is diploid. This megaspore mother cell is diploid, and this diploid megaspore mother cell divide meiotically to form megaspore tetrad. Okay, so these megaspore tetrads are arranged linear vertical row. Among these 4 megaspore tetrads, the upper 3 megaspores are gradually degenerates and the lower megaspore, the lower 1 megaspore gradually enlarged. This gradually enlarged towards the chalazal end by absorbing the nutrition from the nucellar cells. Okay, so it has a nucleus that is haploid in number because the megaspore mother cell divided meiotically. Meiosis division is the reduction division. That's why this megaspore has haploid nucleus. Okay, it has the haploid nucleus and numbers of chromosome. This haploid nucleus again divided and turns into 2 in number. Okay, then 2 nucleus again divided turns into 4 in number, and this 4th nucleus again divided and turns into 8 in number, and all these divisions occur mitotically. Here this haploid nucleus divided mitotically to form 8 nucleus. Okay, so among these 8 nucleus, the 3 nucleus remain at the chalazal end and 3 nucleus remain at the micropylar end, and the 2 nucleus, one from chalazal end and one from micropylar end, migrate to the center region, and they are called the polar nuclei. And later on these polar nuclei fused together to form secondary nuclei. Okay, so having 2 polar nuclei, this embryo sac, it is the structure of embryo sac. Finally we got the embryo sac from megaspore mother cell. So having 2 polar nuclei, this embryo sac is the immature condition. This embryo sac is at the immature condition. So at the immature condition, the embryo sac has how many nuclei? 8 nuclei, and it is 8-celled stage. In immature condition, the embryo sac is 8 nuclei and 8-celled stage. But in a mature condition, when it is ready to fertilize, in a mature condition, the central 2 polar nuclei fused together to form secondary nuclei, and this is the mature condition. So this is all about your development of female gametophyte or megasporogenesis process. So let's know about the development of male gametophyte or microsporogenesis process. So microsporogenesis process refer to development of microspore. Development of microspore or microspore also called as your male gametophyte. So let's know how a male gametophyte is developed. So here you can see it is the structure of a anther. It is the structure of a anther as we have discussed in our previous class. So it has two anther lobes and each anther lobe having 4 pollen sacs, and it is the sterile projection, it is called connective. Okay, so here the pollen sac contains some cells, and that cells are called primary sporogenous tissue. The pollen sac contains primary sporogenous tissue. So here the pollen sac contains primary sporogenous tissue, and this tissue again divided repeatedly and converts into microsporogenous tissue. Microsporogenous tissue, which is differentiated generation by generation. And this microsporogenous tissue again divided to form microspore mother cell. And it is diploid. Chromosomal structure. And this microspore mother cell again forms 4 microspore tetrad, and it is divided meiotically and form 4 microspore tetrad, and these 4 microspore tetrad developed into 4 haploid microspores. 4 haploid microspores or 4 pollen grains. Okay, so let's know about a structure of a pollen grain. So this is the structure of a pollen grain. Okay, so pollen grain has 2 layers. Outer layer is called exine layer and inner layer is called intine layer. Okay, so the exine layer is thick and rough, and the inner intine layer is thin and smooth. Okay, so exine layer is made up of a substance that is called sporopollenin, which is a highly resistant fatty substance which cannot degrade at any high temperature or at any acidic or alkaline medium. So it helps to protect the pollen grain to store for a long time. Okay, so that's how the pollen grain can be stored as a living fossil. So exine layer is again divided into outer extexine and inner entexine. Okay, so here you can see there is some gap between the exine layer, and these gaps is called germ pore, and that germ pore, through the germ pore the pollen grain develops a tube, that is pollen tube, through which male gametophytes discharged into ovule. So here the pollen grain, the nucleus, the haploid nucleus of pollen grain again divided mitotically to form 2 unequal sized nucleus. One is large nucleus which is called vegetative nucleus, and small nucleus which is called generative nucleus. Okay, so this is all about a pollen grain. So let's know about the development of male gametophyte in the stigma. Okay, so this development occurs in 2 phases. Development occurs at the pollen sac, and second development occurs at the stigma. So when pollination occurs, pollination means when pollen grain reaches at the stigma, then that process is called pollination. So when pollination occurs, the pollen grain lands at the stigma. Okay, so it absorbs the stigmatic secretion which helps to develop a pollen tube. As we know before, this pollen tube develops through the germ pore from the layer intine. Okay, so this pollen tube develops from the intine layer through germ pores. Okay, so the large vegetative nucleus which is present are the male gametophyte. So the large vegetative nucleus riches are the tube part, riches are the apical part of the pollen tube, and then that is called tube nucleus. Okay, so the generative nucleus which is divided again mitotically to form two male gametophyte. Okay, so these two male gametophyte again enters into the embryo sac and forms the next proceed to the fertilization process. So this is all about your microsporogenesis process or development of male gametophyte. Okay, next class we will discuss about the double fertilization in a angiospermic flower. So this is all about your class. So if you have any doubt, please comment on a comment box, then I will solve your doubt in my next class. Thank you.